Hi, this is Joe again with another movie review. And for the start of this video, I figured to do another movie that's celebrating its 30th anniversary this year in 2016, even though 2016 is almost finished. I'm going to be for this video, I'm going to be discussing the 1986 film Hoosiers. This is generally considered to be the greatest basketball movie of all time. And of course, it stars Barbara Hershey, Gene Hackman, and Dennis Hopper. So it has a excuse me. It does have a pretty good high list cast in this film. Of course, this movie is loosely based on the 1954 Milan High School team that won the basketball championship in Indiana, and so it's loosely based on that. Even though the movie is supposed to take place in 1951, so it's one of many mistakes in the movie in terms of technical mistakes. Like I said earlier, it's based on a true, loosely based on a true story. It took that story and then made a whole film around that, and they made a fictional high school, Hickory High School, which is an extremely small high school in the middle of Indiana, which is like the middle of nowhere, really. And they hired a new basketball coach, played by Gene Hackman, and he should have won a second Oscar for this role because he did a really great job in this. And he gets hired as a basketball coach after being in the Navy for several years. And of course, he had only 7 basketball players. That's how small the school is in terms of attendance. And only 7 students in the whole school are on the basketball team. And of course, it's one of the main premises throughout the film is how as a small school, in terms of the size of the school building, but in terms of the attendance. You only have like maybe a couple hundred students students in the school, and so of course they have to compete with other schools that has a bigger attendance in terms of amount of students who go to that school. So of course they have to compete with schools that are bigger in size in terms of attendance, as well as bigger players on that team. And of course it's an all-white team. So naturally, in the 50s, there's very few teams that actually have black players in there, along with white players. And they have to compete with players with black guys on the team, and they don't have any players who are like 6'3", 6'4", 6'5" size guys, and they're only like 5'8", 5'7", 5'8" guys. So in terms of height, in terms of players on the other teams, some teams have maybe twice as many players as they have, but they only have like 7. And eventually it's 8. We'll go to 8. Because there's one player in the school, his name is Jimmy, he's supposed to be like the best player in the school, but he was talked out of being on the team. Because the acting principal, who was played by Barbara Hershey, talked him out of being on the team. Because she felt that Jimmy should concentrate on his schoolwork because he has the intelligence to be a good college student. Instead of being if you're on a basketball team, you can get a decent scholarship to a good college. But the principal didn't feel that. Barbara Hershey's kind of didn't feel that way. She said, "Hey, you should concentrate on his studies, not playing basketball." So, but eventually, the principal says, "Hey, put him on the team," which we're going to get to that scene hopefully in a minute. Of course, Gene Hackman has an abusive. It's almost kind of like a Bobby Knight type attitude he has sometimes, because he gets thrown out of games. He yells and screams at his players the way he treats his players. And the funny thing is, it's very low cursing towards the players. Unlike Bobby Knight, who famously curses everybody out under the sun. But Gene Hackman's character, he just trains them hard. He has hard practices. If you don't do it exactly his way, out you go. And that was his attitude. And unfortunately, the news came out that while he was coaching a college team, that this was actually the first time that Gene Hackman's character was coaching a high school team, because he usually coached in college before. But the word came out that, when the news came out, that he actually was abusive to one of his players to the point he actually punched him out. And he got actually fined. He gets a lifetime ban for the NCAA. He couldn't coach anywhere in any college, and of course he got several colleges and several different leagues, like Division One, Division Two, and the NCAA's upholding the ban and respecting the ban, and not allowing Gene Hackman's character to coach a team. Then of course the school found out, or Hickory found out, and at least the Hickory School Board found out, and wanted to kick him off the team. And they found out that the principal, the Barbara Hershey character, defending him, saying, "Hey, look how well the team is performing under him. Since he's been here, the team has been listening to him, and he hasn't had any problem in his regular classes, because he was also teaching history and I think also math. He doesn't have a problem in any of the classes, or at least the students never had a problem with him. He never had a problem with coaching the team, except for the first practice where he kicked a guy out for being disrespectful to him. Other than that, he didn't have any other problems with the team listening to him. Because of the way he said, hey, you have to do it like this, 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 and this. And tell you 4 passes, tell you do it this way, and all these drills, which they never had to really do before. All they had to do was concentrating on shooting the ball into the basket, and never actually real basketball drills. Other than the television show they did review previously, The White Shadow, this is the only other time in a basketball-based story we actually see basketball team doing actual basketball drills instead of actually playing games. Because all the other basketball movies, you just see them playing games, and not during most of the time just games during the season, and not so much doing basketball type drills. And I thought it was pretty good how they do the drills, or drill sequences in this film. And of course, when the player that I told you about was at the hearing when they wanted to fire the coach, says, "Hey, if you fire the coach, I'm out of the school. I'm going to quit the school. I'm going to transfer to somewhere else, and I will never join the team if you fire the coach. You fire the coach, you fire me too." And then of course they actually voted to kick him out. And when Jimmy defended the coach, he said, "Look, you're firing him, you're firing me." So people there said, okay, they backed off and said, okay, we let you stay on the coach. And then of course the team went all the way. They won the district championship, and then of course they were winning playoff game after playoff game. It was kind of like the NCAA tournament, in terms of one game and you're out. And so of course, if you lose one game, you're out of the tournament. So they kept winning and winning, and they ended up getting hot at the right time, like a lot of underdog teams do. In sports history, in any sport. And of course, they ended up playing for the state championship. And of course, there's this once famous scene in the state championship where they actually measure how high the basket is from the ground, and from where the foul line is to the basket, which is something that I looked up on Wikipedia, and said that scene does never happen. To the actual team that this movie is based on, that scene never happened when they tape measure the basket, how high the basket is to the floor, on the foul line to the basket. That scene, even though it's been parodied in so many other sports movies, that scene never happened with the real team, and that it never actually happened. So it's a little fictional to add to the drama. Of course, what happened? Of course, big surprise. The team does happen to win in the end of the movie, and they won on a couple of foul. Not they won the game before with a couple of foul shots, by the shortest guy on the team. And of course, the actual score from the actual game was actually 32-30. This time they actually added 42 to 40 was the final score in the championship game. I think maybe because they added to 40 points, or for making to a 42-40 final score in the state championship game, because I don't think that the audience is going to believe that a team won only scored 32 points and they won a high school championship. I don't think the audience was going to buy that, so I guess they added 10 more points to the final score. Like I mentioned earlier, that Dennis Hopper I glossed over the Dennis Hopper role. 1986 was a big year for Dennis Hopper because he did Blue Velvet, which I think I previously reviewed, and he did this movie. And this movie, instead of playing a psychopath like he did in Blue Velvet, he played a town, the stereotypical town drunk who knows everything about basketball, who happens to know everything and anything about basketball. And also his son in the movie was one of the players on the team. So Gene Hackman knew this. Dennis Hopper's son was one of the players on the team, so he recruited him to be one of the assistant coaches. Because the original assistant coach they had got sick. He had like a heart attack or something, and the doctor told him, "Look, you have to stay off the basketball court because it's too stressful." So, and he could die. He had a problem with one of his heart valves or something. And if that's what happened today in 2016, he probably would have had the open heart surgery and take care of the problem. But I guess in the 1950s, they didn't have the type of open heart surgery to take care of that problem that the assistant coach had. So Gene Hackman says, why don't you be my assistant coach? You know a lot about basketball, you know the area, you know a lot of the teams in this district. Why don't you help me out? So he says, oh, come on, you don't want to help me. And I said, I'll be an embarrassment for you. I said, look, the only way you want me to be the assistant coach, is if you stay sober. And for a while it worked. Even though the pressure from the drink was really great. And for a while it worked. But unfortunately, there was one particular incident in the game where he got really drunk and he was showed up late. And he had to be escorted out of the building, literally, and was taken to the hospital so he could dry out. So he spent the rest of the season in the hospital drying out. Of course, they didn't have any alcohol rehabs or anything in those days. Alcoholic Anonymous, like you do now. So he was literally drying out in the hospital for the rest of the basketball season, through the playoffs and of course in the championship game. And even there's one point where during the regional championship, or the game before the championship game, he was cheering so, or Dennis Hopper character was cheering so that the doctors put him in a straitjacket. Because he was rooting so hard for his son to do well, for his son's team to do well, for his son's team to get to the state championship game. They put him in a straitjacket. I'm not kidding. Well, unfortunately, it didn't show that. But he described that. And Dennis Hopper's character actually got an Oscar nomination for this role. No, I don't remember if he got nominated for Blue Velvet. So it was like one of the few years that an actor was nominated for two separate roles in the same movie year. I also have a few times that happened with Sigourney Weaver a couple years later for Gorillas in the Mist and Working Girl. But I don't know if that happened with Dennis Hopper's character. But in terms of the film Hoosiers, I mean, it is generally considered to be the best basketball movie of all time. I think maybe the only one that may be close to it was maybe White Men Can't Jump, the Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson movie from, I think it was like 93 or 94. That would be the only other movie that's maybe generally considered as maybe the best basketball movies. Try to say that 5 times. Best basketball movies. But for Hoosiers, this is the one that I actually consider to be the best basketball film. There's always movies that, from any sport, you consider to be the best one. Like in baseball, for me, it's The Natural. Close second to is League of Their Own. Boxing is maybe Raging Bull and Rocky. in boxing. Of course, in football, we're going to have like Rudy or New Rockney All American as maybe the best football films. And hockey, so that's many hockey films. Maybe Slapshot and maybe the movie based on the 1980 Olympic Games, Miracle, with the 1980 Olympic team that beat the Russians in one of the gold. Now, what was the gold medal game? It was like the game before in the hockey in the Olympic hockey. And of course, in basketball, you have Hoosiers. I mean, I don't think there was any movie that say close to it in basketball. I mean, it's definitely within, in terms of sports movies, it's definitely within the top five. I don't know why Sports not Sport, or ESPN when they talked about the movie in my Bo Durham review, one of my early reviews. I don't know why they didn't pick this movie. I don't know what the actual where Hoosiers actually ranked in that poll, but it has to definitely be. If you ever had to pick the best movie in each sport, Hoosiers is gonna be the best one in basketball. Of course, The Natural in baseball, New Rockney All American in football, and of course, in hockey, maybe Miracle or Slapshot, the Paul Newman film. And followed by of course Hoosiers for basketball. In terms of the four major team sports in the United States, anyway. I suggest you check out Hoosiers if those of you who have never seen it. Of course, you know what's going to happen in the end of the movie. It's like one of those movies one of the sports movies where you know, because it's happened so many times in sports movies when the underdog team wins at the end of the movie. I mean, it happens and it happens more often in baseball films because there are more baseball films than any other sport. So you know it happens more times in baseball movies when an underdog team overcomes the odds and wins. Same thing with Hoosiers. Same thing with so many other. I can name about maybe 30 like 20 to 30 examples of how many times it's happened in a sports movie. Because otherwise, people are not going to watch. If they watch a team that loses at the end of the movie, no one's going to watch the damn thing. But I feel that Hoosiers is definitely the best movie. I think Gene Hackman is definitely one of the best actors. I know Gene Hackman hasn't done a movie in a long time. I just wish he would go back to doing movies. I mean, he's definitely great. He has a great voice, great presence on screen. And I've been watching Gene Hackman movies for almost 40 years, since he did the first Superman movie, when he played Lex Luthor. I've seen him in so many movies that I liked his performance in every single film he's done. And that's rare. It's rare for me to like an actor in every single performance he's done. But because Gene Hackman has been very good, very consistent in the show, and that's what he did comedies. He's done way too many dramas in his career. But I do enjoy him. I do enjoy him in this movie. I enjoy Barbara Hershey. This is one of the three best performances that Barbara Hershey has done in the movie. Followed by, of course, Beaches and The Natural. In case you know, in The Natural, Barbara Hershey was the one who shot Robert Redford in The Natural. So I know I went on a little bit too long praising this film, but Hoosiers is that damn good. So that's my review of the movie Hoosiers. Please click on the video. Please rate it. Please subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel. Please feel free to comment down below. Feel free to rate it. Please subscribe to my channel and please forward this video onto your Facebook pages. You can check out all my videos on my YouTube channel at rowdyc.com. That's OWDY. C.com. That's the homepage of the Rowdy Reviewer. Christine Moore. And please check out all of his content on his website. Not just his TV trash videos, but also all the other contributors to his website. Thanks for watching, and catch you next time.